All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Larry James. My company is Speak with Larry. Today, I want to have a little conversation with you guys about positioning yourself to set up your own online business. We are in some different times now, as you can see, and it's never been more important than now for us to actually consider starting our own business, right? Now, the actual brick and mortar location where you have to have, a building, the furniture, the phone lines and all that, you don't really need that now. As a matter of fact, I don't suggest that. That is not what I teach my clients how to set up. The business that I want you to focus on is this very type of business that I'm doing right now, right in front of you, right in front of your computer. However you want to position yourself, that's what I want you to be able to do. And all you'd have to do is set up a couple of systems that would allow you to come back to this location every time you prepare to create content, because the content is going to be what's key, right? It's going to be absolutely necessary that you establish content on a regular basis. And that content will be based on something you enjoy, something you like. And then you can throw other things along the way, because when you begin, it's important that you have a model that you can follow, right? A template, so to speak, so that every time you create content, you go back to the same place, which means your mind will actually be in the same place as well, because you know you're going to do this, and you know you're not going to stop until you get it done. Let's say, like when I create videos like this one, if I'm going to create a 20 or 30-minute video, then I have to have the content structured so I can follow it, so that when I deliver it to you guys, it makes sense, right? Fortunately, I've been doing this for some time now, so anytime I talk about what I do, no structure is necessary, because I know it, right? I can walk it, I can sleep with it, I wake up with it, so I know it. It's within me. So it's not difficult for me to explain it to you, but for you to actually understand, the first thing that has to happen, is you have to get your mind right, period. You have to understand it's not a job. It's not like a job. It's not like anything you ever did before. If you never had a business, it's not. It requires your time, your effort, and it requires it regularly. But the rewards are incredible. The payoff is excessive. From time to time, you get to meet people and position yourself in a way that you never thought you would in life. I think I equate it to, like, you're gonna have to decide what you're gonna do, and you're gonna spend the rest of your life doing it. Just think about that. If you decided, okay, I'm gonna be a mechanic, I'm gonna be an auto mechanic, and I'm gonna spend the rest of my life doing that. If you do that, you're gonna get good, because you're going to know all the nuances involved. You're going to know everything about it, which is what would make you an expert, which is the same concept, mindset you have to have when you start your own online business, because there's a lot of things you have to learn that are technical, but they're not a lot to where you can't do it. It's just, for someone who's not technically literate right now, it would seem like a lot. That's why you need a coach or a mentor, someone like myself, who can kind of take you by the hand until you get positioned in what you're doing, so that it makes sense. And all it is just repetitive once you set everything up, right? Like the set that you see in the background, once that set is set up, I can just create videos anytime I want to, and that will be the set. I just have to make certain that that set stays there, right? And when it changes, it's because I wanted to change, right? It's because you want to change. You want to keep things fresh as you're expressing who you are and what you do to the world, because that's the position that you're coming from. You're coming from a position of you're creating this world. and you're creating it in a way that it will help people and they can pay you for sharing what you know with them. Simple enough, right? Yeah, right. But once you get in front of this camera, a lot of times people don't have a smooth delivery, right? Or one, it's like speaking. If you have to speak in front of an audience, you may be able to speak face to face with one person or to 2 or 3 people. But when you have like 50 or 100 people that you're talking to, that affects a lot of people. You know, it does. It absolutely does. I was one of those people that it affected like that, right? I was very uncomfortable with that. But through going through processes like Toastmasters and different speaking at different small events, I was able to get kind of a handle on it. I don't know if you ever get like, okay, I think there's an amount of people that I can speak to that I would still get nervous, right? Which is why I love the technological part of it, because I can do this all day, right? And as long as I'm being paid for it, I don't want to do it just, you know, just for the practice, unless I'm in the beginning stages, just like you, because anything you begin, you're not going to be good at it. That's how it works. That's like the initiation to this, let you know whether or not you're interested in becoming effective or an expert or good at that. Because you've heard of the 10,000 hour rule, right? Yeah, in order for you to be an expert or really good at something, it takes 10,000 hours of continuously, you know, dabbling in that arena, right? Which is great, because when you reach that milestone of those 10,000 hours, you'll know by the way it makes you feel whether or not you're an expert. You'll know, because you don't spend all that time and you don't learn what you're doing. That's why it's really important that you make it something that you enjoy, because as long as you enjoy something, it's easy for you to go do it, go do it, go do it. It's easy for you to do that. Now, once you start to generate a few dollars from it, it becomes easier. However, I don't recommend that you do this because of the amount of money you can make. Because if the money doesn't come, you'll go right to another thing based on their money and try it again, and then try it again. That's why it needs to be something that you like. Now, how do you identify what you like? And a lot of people think, well, I don't think what I like can make money, but there's 7 billion people in the planet, right? 7 billion. And somebody thinks like you. A lot of somebody's. A lot of people would like to know what you know or what you're willing to learn so that you can share with them so that they can know, right? Because that's how it works. We're all givers in our own way. But when you can structure what you're giving, or what I like to call it, when you can package it and you can sell it, right? But you have to be able to put it in a position so that people can access it, right? And that's not difficult. It's just that you have to go through a process, and that process is generated by that information comes from people like myself who have gone that process, right? Who do these things on a daily basis, not like every now and then, daily, because it becomes your life. But the beautiful part about it is you can travel with it. Anywhere you go, you have your business with you. It's not like you're going to have somebody back at the office, you know, holding things down. No, you have your office with you when you go. So that's one of the beautiful things about this type of business. And the second beautiful thing about it is that it's easy. It's easy. It really is. There are systems now on the videos, YouTube and Google, that will walk you step by step to what you need to get to, step by step. It doesn't get any simpler than that, ladies and gentlemen. It does not. It's like taking your hand and say, push this button, push that button, push that button. It's that simple. So you should give it a try, because you know this is 2020, right? And you know where things are evolving into a whole new world. You're paying attention to that, right? Please say you're paying attention to that. Don't let that just go over your head, ladies and gentlemen. Things have changed. And after this is over with, oh, it won't be the same. It will never be the same. All that going to work for people and working 20, 30 years and retiring, those days have gone. Please know that. And I am talking to you. Please know that. Now, if you're one of those people like myself who am on the tail end of all that, then you probably will be able to retire with 25, 30 years, 40 years, whatever you have. But if you're like a millennial or Generation X, whatever they call that, where you're like 19, 20 or 24, 27, somewhere like that. If you're in that age range right there, it's predicted that you'll have between 14 and 17 jobs in your lifetime. 14 or 17 jobs. Imagine that now. I've been working for the government. I work for the government also. And I've been doing that for 40 years, 40. So I'm getting ready to retire and do this full time. So I'm at the end of that. So I'll be able to get all the benefits that come with what we were taught early, which was to go to school, get a good education, get a good job with benefits, work 30 or 40 years, retire, and enjoy your retirement. And that model has changed drastically. If you're thinking you're going to have a job for 40 years again, that's going to need to be your company. And that's what the world is evolving to, people becoming entrepreneurs. And if you're paying attention to what's really happening in the world, you see more and more entrepreneurs, females, even young children becoming entrepreneurs at a young age. And that's a beautiful thing, because I don't believe we were designed to work for anybody, period. I just believe we have been misinformed or miseducated about how we should live our lives because of the way the system is designed to take you in a way that you don't want to be taken, but you don't know anything else, right? And then you learn from your parents, which was the way what they knew. So they could only teach you what they knew as far as they could go. They couldn't teach you things like I can't teach my children, which my children are adults now, I'm sure, but I can't teach them things that will really benefit them 10 years from now because I don't know those things, right? But if you're a good parent and you raised your children, you taught them what you knew. That was it. And that was enough, right? But things change. Now things are evolving into a whole nother model or template, right? Things are going to look very, very different, very different. So I may not be around for all that, but I want you to prepare for that, because you're probably going to be around. If you're like, 25, 30, 18, 16 years old, 35 years old, you're probably going to be around, right? But if you commit to just, let's say, 1 year out of your life, now, is a year a long time? Let's say you live to be 80. Is 1 year a long time out of that 80 years? No, that's not a long time, especially when you're going to be learning something that you enjoy. See, you have a passion already. We come with a passion. Please know that. We sometimes don't spend a lot of time within our passion, though. And some people don't even really know what their passion is. They don't really know what they like. Now, that always confuses me, because it's you. You should know what you like. You know what you don't like, right? So you should know what you like. And if you know what you like, or if you know what you like to learn about, because it doesn't have to be based on your passion. It can be based on what you would like to learn about. Because what you're going to do is you're going to set up a process for you to gain knowledge in that area. And as you gain knowledge in that area, you're going to share that information with people that you don't know. You're going to create who you are. You're going to create a new you. And the way that works is every time you get in front of the camera, every time you get on the audio, every time you get on your blog and you're writing, you're going to become more and more of what you're doing. That's how it works. You actually become that. Like I was telling you about my fear of speaking. I actually became a speaker over time. I actually evolved into that because I was doing these types of things so much that things became second nature to me, right? So I can talk to you for an hour, 2 hours about things that have to do with business and my company, right? Because sometimes that's what it takes. But that you're being charged for that. You know, you're gonna, but you're not on the clock. I don't charge you per hour for the event. I charge you per the event. Like you might, like it might be $5,000 for me to come and speak for an hour about what I do. Now, if your company pays that type of money, then they would hire someone like myself. Now, if they pay $100 or $200, they probably wouldn't call people like me, right? Because I've been doing this for 10 years, and that's not that's good money for beginners. And you know, some people take their money today, but I'd rather not position myself like that. I feel like, you know, there's levels that you focus on as well, right? You work your way up so that you can have value. You bring value because what you're doing is you're actually bringing value to the marketplace. The marketplace is the business world. It's whatever's out there that people are buying and selling. That's the marketplace, right? So right now, you don't have any products on the marketplace. Nobody knows you on the marketplace, right? Now, let me give you an example. I'm an author too, a published author. I've got several books written, and on YouTube, I've got over 900 videos. Now, these are not brags. These are facts. These are facts. So people probably know me, right? But I may not know those people. I probably don't know those people, but it's okay because I still have an audience, right? So when I create this video like this, there are people that are going to see this video, right? People that know me. There are people that are waiting for me to create content so that they can access the content that I create. There will be people that will be waiting for your content as well once you position yourself so that you're able to create it regularly. And you'll feel good about it, you know, because you know what you're sharing will help someone. Now, how will I be rewarded for sharing that information? Well, you never know. The world is a small place, but you never know who's in the audience, right? There are people that would be listening to this video that would say, hey, I want to hire that guy to come and speak for our event, right? Who knows? That's how the world works. When you put content in the world, in the marketplace, and allow people to access it, people will be attracted to you physically. People will be attracted to your mental acumen. People will be attracted to the way you handle yourself, way you carry yourself, the way you present. And I'm a person just like the people I'll be watching, right? So some of those people that I'm watching, I'm attracted to them. I'm attracted to, my major attraction is intelligence. I'm really attracted to smart people. And I'm not talking physically. I want to learn. I want to pick your brain. I want to know more about what you know. Because I believe I've ran across a couple of geniuses in my life. When I say geniuses, not a subject they can't talk about in depth, right? On different levels. And I'm like, how can you know all that information? Because I understand my mindset, right? And I understand my ability to create, but there are things called exceptions, right? It's like talent. Like what I do are skills. These can be learned, but when you have talent, natural talent, or the next level above talent, to me, is when you're gifted. When you're gifted. Now, let me explain this to you from my perspective. I could be wrong. When you're gifted, that's what you should be doing in life, period. because it's natural to you. None of it has to, come across as, planned, structured or anything, although, that's how you present, but it's natural for you. That is so beautiful when I see people who can do things naturally, right? Just naturally. It's like effortlessly. I think, I probably have some skills in the skill level, but in the gifted, not so much, but if I did like a singer or someone like that, that's probably what I would be doing. And today with information technology, the way it is today, you can make beautiful music at home and people will access that, or you can go independent and create your own stuff. It's kind of like starting your own business but you're doing it based on what you love, which is exactly what this is. Exactly. That's exactly what this is. If you can tell me what you love, if you can tell me what that is, I can put you on a 90-day process or a 90-day course that will get you locked in to do that for a year and watch the results. Once you commit for 90 days, you will be locked in because this is what you enjoy doing, and you'll start to get feedback. You'll start to create other avenues for yourself to allow people to access what it is that you create. Like I have podcasts, audio podcasts. I've got books. I've got audios. I've got just a plethora of different types of content that I try to send to different people, right? Because some people like to read. Some people would prefer watching videos. Some people would prefer listening to audios while they're working out or driving, right? You got the ability to create all those different types of platforms that people can access, and you can sell those products. That's how it works. Or your services. If you're a consultant like myself, or I'm a consultant, but I also mentor. I can mentor different services to different people, right? To get them started, get them past first base, right? Once you get past first base, then you kind of know what you're doing. You're ready. As soon as they mess up, or as soon as you get more knowledge, you go into second base, right? Baseball analogy. That's how that works, right? So what you know now, don't let that limit you. Or what I should say, what you don't know, don't let that limit you. Because now's the time. You need to use this now, not so much your body. You need to position yourself to be able to use your mind, your mental acumen. You need to be able to create things from nothing, right? Like when you write a book, that book didn't exist before you wrote it. It didn't, but it was here in your head, right? And as you structured it and got prepared and did what you had to do over time, because it will take time, but over time, you got a product. Not only do you have a product, but you can sell that product. That's how it works. We're in that age now, ladies and gentlemen. We need to take action. That's all that's missing is to take action. Now, if you can take action for free, why wouldn't you do that? What I'm offering you is free. Why wouldn't you do that? I've got training videos on YouTube you can go watch right now and just follow them and put them into action. And before long, you will be a new person. You will have a new outlook on how you see life. And that's a necessary outlook because we're in that day and time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, well, I'm going to stop there because I don't like to go much longer than 30 minutes when I share information on these different platforms. But I appreciate you stopping by. And if you're interested in having an interview with me at my company is Speak with Larry. Again, you can go to speakwithlarryj@gmail.com, and in the subject box, type in interview, and you and I can have a back and forth. We can talk about what you would like to do or what you do, and I'll share with my audience and get you some, some likes and some subscribes and some, some online stuff. How cool is that, right? All free. Only for 2020, though. I'm doing that for 2020. And after that, it's not free. But Who knows what it's going to be, right? Anyway, my name is Larry James. My company is Speak with Larry. And as always, share with someone else what I've shared with you.